True lovers, ever feel like finding your soulmate is like ordering fries from the universe's drive-thru, but they're still peeling the potatoes in another dimension? I mean, seriously, how many lifetimes does it take for someone to swipe right on your soul? Hi, I'm Haim with Be Love Media, and today we'll chat about the juncture between the wisdom of the Tao Te Ching, verse 34, and your love life. I'm passionate about helping beautiful souls like you align with divine love by tuning into ancient wisdom with a sprinkle of joy and just the right amount of cosmic sass. And if you stick around till the end of this video, I'll share with you the ultimate affirmation to attract your ultimate soulmate. If you're ready to open your heart like a lotus in full bloom, true lovers, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and gently caress that notification bell like it's whispering sweet nothings from the Tao itself. Those of you who know my story know that I have been through the whole gamut of heartbreaks and heartaches. And I found myself, as some of you know, end of 2019, beginning of 2020, literally weeks before the pandemic erupted, about to get my third divorce. Yeah, I was married at that point 3 times with 3 major epic fails in that area. I just couldn't get it right. With all the amazing intentions that I had for myself at a very young age, I knew I wanted to have my own family, especially based on my childhood experience of not truly having it. And maybe that's why I kept failing at it, because I was acting from a place of emptiness, of void, and desperation. What I should have done, now I know, is I should have processed it. I should have done my shadow work. And I needed to become the kind of person I wanted to attract into my life. Instead, I attracted the kind of person who would help me relive the traumas of my childhood, of my past. Not a good recipe for joy, is it? Well, beginning of 2020, as the world was consumed with the pandemic and all its many joys, I stumbled upon the true meaning, as I could perceive back then, of this wisdom called Tao Te Ching. 81 beautiful short poems written in a cryptic, poetic fashion by Lao Tzu, or known also as Lao Dan, 2,600 years ago in ancient China, in the time of the warring states period, when war was abound, conflict was prevalent. And he put those 81 short verses in writing so that we could try and implement it into our life to make better decisions. And what I got excited about as I became single again, 2020, is what if I can implement this not only to heal and recover from this yet another failed relationship, failed marriage, but also to attract, to become the kind of partner I want to attract. Because that's the only way, let's be clear, that I can attract a true soulmate, by becoming the kind of soulmate I want to attract. And for me, I was very, very clear, which really helped, what I was looking for. Yes, you need to be attracted to your partner romantically, physically, and sexually, yes. But beyond that, shouldn't we also know what we're looking for, what works for us? And I was clear that what works for me is somebody who was interested in growing spiritually and was capable of true kindness, true compassion. Because I've learned my lesson in all the wrong ways in that area. I kept attracting, up until that point, people who were somewhat selfish, somewhat centered, and at least one of them very much narcissistic. And that was painful. And I didn't want to go there again. Now, mind you, for all of those you who jumping and saying, well, why are you, venting here about your exes and vilifying them? It's couldn't be far from that. Because what I also understood from the Tao Te Ching is that I have to take responsibility for how my life is going. And if I kept attracting all those toxic relationships, all those superficial relationships that lacked depth and lacked true presence of God in them, it was because I wasn't ready. It was because something within me felt incomplete. So, enough said. Let's jump into verse 34, Tao Te Ching, as translated by Stephen Mitchell. The great Tao flows everywhere. All things are born from it, yet it doesn't create them. It pours itself into its work, yet it makes no claim. It nourishes infinite worlds, yet it doesn't hold on to them. Since it is merged with all things and hidden in their hearts, it can be called humble. Since all things vanish into it and it alone endures, it can be called great. It isn't aware of its greatness, thus it is truly great. Close quote. So there you go, verse 33. So what can we learn from this verse for those of us who are dating, those of us who are searching for their true partner, those of us who want to attract the kind of partner that will enrich their life and not you will make each other miserable? Number one, it pours itself into its work, yet it makes no claim, close quote. Look for someone who gives with an open heart, without keeping score. A true soulmate shows up with love that's generous, not transactional. They don't need to prove themselves. Their energy simply speaks love. So when you are getting to know somebody, or maybe some of you can think of your past relationships, if your partner, if you, or if both of you would use phrases like, you always don't do this and you always do that. I can never trust you. You want me to do this, but you didn't do this for me. See, this is transactional. Run for the hills. First of all, if you're using those kind of phrases, guys, you got to work on it. You can't come into a relationship from anything, from any kind of place other than a giving place. Now, it doesn't mean there's no give and take in the relationship, but if you're counting in your mind, if you're doing accounting in your mind before you're about to buy them flowers and say, well, where was the last time they did something for me? Then either something is wrong with their relationship, something is wrong with you, or something is wrong with all of you guys. In the sense that you're not ready to come from a giving place. And you're just gonna attract a relationship that will do the same. They will continue that pattern. Number two, it nourishes infinite worlds, yet it doesn't hold on to them. Seek a partner who nourishes your growth, but doesn't try to own or control you. Healthy love gives space. It honors freedom while deepening connection. Look for someone who cheers your evolution, not edits it. Now, in a relationship, granted, we will offer some advice. Sometimes I offer too much advice to my beloved Rachel. But as a whole, the relationship should not be one of criticism, should not be one of finding flaws in each other. There is a book called Don't Kill the Dog. Funny name, I know. And it is about the bad habit many of us have of going through life, going through relationships, whether it's at work or friendship or romantic relationship or family relationships, where we constantly look for what the other person did wrong, or somebody's doing it to us. And the bottom line of that book is that we need to switch that pattern, to turn this pattern on its face, and to start catching people around us doing something good instead of doing something bad. Praise them because we found something good. And then the book asks the question, I'm sure you're wondering, well, what about, who's going to tell them that they did something wrong, that they need to fix it? And it says, just don't worry about it, because it adds no real value when we go around criticizing others, or when we allow other people to do it to us and discourage us and disempower us. So be mindful of that. Number 3, it isn't aware of its greatness, thus it is truly great. Look for humility, not flashy perfection. A soulmate doesn't need to be loud about their worth. You'll recognize them by how they feel in your presence, grounding, present, and real. Now, we live in the age of social media. Some of us are constantly taking selfies and put them on your social media platform. Some of us are obsessed with how we look. Some of us can't stop thinking about something we did that we feel was wrong. That is the unhealthy phenomena of seeking validation and the need to be perfect. You gotta get over it. I'm not saying it's easy, but you gotta get over it. I was one of those people who constantly checked my Facebook for how many likes I got that day, for whatever silly post I put there, for whatever picture of lunch that I had that I put on Facebook. Well, guess what? Eventually I realized that it wasn't doing me any favors. It wasn't helping me grow. So when I met now my wife, best friend, and the love of my life, Rachel, and we started dating, I told her early on, what would you say if I suggested that we both jumped off our Facebook account? And she thought for a minute and she said, yeah, my family would think it's weird, but let's do it. And we did it and never looked back. And you know what? At the time I was obsessed with looking at my Facebook account. I don't miss it. It's been several years. I don't really miss it. I might use it for business purposes, maybe, but I don't miss it. I get my social joy from the people who are very close to me, not from random people on Facebook. So I know some of you guys don't even get it. I didn't get it back then. Some of you don't see yourself ever doing it. That's fine. You make your own choices. But consider decluttering your social sphere if you want to create space for the right relationship to show up. So, as promised, here are 10 affirmations to declare you are loved. Repeat after me, true lovers. Maybe even shout it from the balcony if your neighbors are cool with spiritual awakenings at high volume. I am love in its purest form. I radiate compassion, ease, and joy. I attract love because I am love. I attract love because I am love. My presence is a sanctuary of peace and warmth. I am magnetic to those who align with my soul. I give love freely without fear or need to control. I trust the timing of divine union. Love flows to me with grace and purpose. I honor my heart as sacred and powerful. I am love now and always, without exception. True lovers, if you felt even a ripple of resonance, a glimmer of goosebumps, or just enjoyed the ride through the cosmic drive-thru of love today, go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe to Be Love Media. Let's grow this community of heart-centered beings who aren't afraid to talk Tao and soulmates, while possibly wearing bathrobes and sipping herbal tea with our third eye halfway open. Until next time, keep your heart open, your standards high, and your laugh lines deep. Stay radiant, stay real, and remember, you are the love you've been waiting for.